The pungent aroma of rosemary filled the room, its sharp, earthy scent mingling with the air, creating an almost tangible presence. The overcooked lamb clung to the air, thick and suffocating like the secret simmering beneath the surface of my life. The scent was overwhelming, a constant reminder of the past I couldn't escape. It was a smell I knew well, a scent permanently etched in my memory from that dreadful night 5 years ago. That night, everything changed, and the aroma of rosemary and lamb became synonymous with betrayal. It always returned, a phantom limb of guilt and fear, whenever my carefully constructed world threatened to unravel. Today was no different. The scent was a harbinger, a warning that the past was not done with me yet. My reflection in the darkened kitchen window stared back, eyes hollow, a mirror to the storm raging within. The eyes that once held hope now only reflected despair and anxiety, a constant battle between the present and the past. The sharp rapping at the back door made me jump, every nerve ending alight with a dread I couldn't place. It was as if the knock was a physical manifestation of my fears, demanding to be acknowledged. Peeking through the blinds, I saw him, tall, imposing, a smirk playing on his lips. His presence was a stark contrast to the dimly lit kitchen, a reminder of the power he held over me. He knew I was watching. His eyes locked onto mine through the slats of the blinds, a silent challenge that sent a shiver down my spine. The smirk on his face grew wider, as if he could sense my fear. He knew I wouldn't open the door. My hand hovered over the handle, trembling, caught between the urge to confront him and the overwhelming desire to hide. The scent of rosemary and lamb was now a suffocating blanket wrapping around me, reminding me of the betrayal that had led to this moment. He shouldn't be here. Not now. Not after last night. My hand trembled as I reached for the phone, dialing Sarah's number with a frantic urgency. "He's back!" I choked out, the words catching in my throat. "He was just here, at the back door." Silence. Then, "Did you let him in?" Sarah's voice was sharp, laced with an unspoken accusation. "No!" I hissed, my back pressed against the cool wall, as if the very act could shield me from his unwanted attention. But Sarah, he... The words wouldn't come, the shame of it all threatening to drown me. "He what, Emma?" Sarah's voice softened, concern replacing the initial judgment. What did he do? How could I confess the truth? How could I admit the shameful desires twisting within me? Desires that both terrified and thrilled me in equal measure. He came into my room last night," I whispered, my voice barely audible. "He touched me." The words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken implications. Silence. This time, it was different. This time, it was filled with Sarah's disbelief. "He wouldn't," she finally said, but her voice wavered, doubt creeping in. "He did," I insisted, the words sharp and bitter on my tongue. "He came in through the window, just like he used to do all those years ago." The memory flashed before me, unwanted, vivid. The scent of rosemary and lamb, the suffocating darkness, the feeling of helplessness. Sarah's next words were hesitant, a cautious probing. "Emma, are you sure? Maybe you were dreaming." Her voice was soft, almost too gentle, as if she was afraid that any louder tone might shatter the fragile moment. "You've been under a lot of stress lately. The weight of your responsibilities, the endless deadlines, and the constant pressure to be perfect. It's all been too much." Her words, meant to comfort, felt like a slap. They stung, not because they were harsh, but because they were so far from the truth. Did she think I was making this up? That I wanted this? The disbelief in her eyes was like a dagger to my heart. The shame of it all rose within me, hot and suffocating. It was a heavy, oppressive weight that I couldn't shake off, no matter how hard I tried. But deep down, beneath the anger and the fear, a flicker of something else stirred. Something dark and forbidden. It was a feeling I didn't want to acknowledge, a truth I was too scared to face. The truth was, I hadn't fought him as hard as I should have. I had let my guard down, allowed myself to be vulnerable. The truth was, a part of me, a dark and twisted part, craved his touch. It was a part of me that I despised, a part that I wished I could erase. But it was there, lurking in the shadows, waiting to consume me. The weight of my shame was unbearable, a constant reminder of my own weakness and failure. And as I stood there, facing Sarah, I knew that I could never escape it. It was a part of me now, a part that I would have to live with for the rest of my life. Echoes of the Past. The title itself evokes a sense of nostalgia, a longing for times gone by, and the mysteries that lie within our family history. Later that night, unable to sleep, I found myself drawn to the old cedar chest at the foot of my bed. It was as if an invisible thread was pulling me towards it, urging me to uncover the secrets it held. Inside, nestled amongst yellowed photographs and faded letters, lay my grandmother's diary. The chest was a treasure trove of memories, each item a piece of the puzzle that was our family's past. I had only ever skimmed its pages, afraid of the secrets it might hold. The diary was a relic of a bygone era, its pages filled with the thoughts and emotions of a young woman who had lived through times I could only imagine. Tonight, however, the past beckoned me. It was as if my grandmother herself was urging me to read, to understand, to uncover the truth that had been buried for so long. The spidery handwriting spoke of a forbidden love affair, a scandal that had rocked our family generations ago, a handsome stranger, a mysterious disappearance, and the whispers of a love child hidden away. The diary entries were filled with emotion, each word a testament to the turmoil my grandmother had experienced. Whispers of a love child hidden away. The more I read, the more I realised how little I knew about my family's past. The secrets that had been kept from me, the stories that had been left untold. The details were scant, shrouded in shame and secrecy. The diary hinted at events that had been deliberately obscured, stories that had been altered or forgotten over time. But one thing was clear. The stranger had been a man my grandmother both feared and desired. His presence in her life had left an indelible mark, a shadow that had lingered over our family for generations. As I closed the diary, I knew that my journey into the past was just beginning. There were still so many questions left unanswered, so many mysteries yet to be uncovered. The allure of darkness. Suddenly, the pieces began to fall into place. The stranger in my grandmother's diary, the intruder in my home, the man who haunted my dreams. They were all connected. The fear that had been a constant companion morphed into something else. Intrigue. Excitement. The man, with his piercing gaze and predatory smile, was a dangerous puzzle I was desperate to solve. Trapped in amber. The next morning, I found a single white rose on my doorstep, its delicate petals still damp with dew. It was a gesture both menacing and romantic, a stark reminder of the dangerous game we were playing. I was trapped, caught in a web of my own making. Every instinct screamed at me to run, to disappear, to erase his presence from my life. But a darker, more primal urge urged me closer, whispering promises of forbidden pleasure and the unraveling of long-buried secrets. The Devil's Bargain. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the floor, I found myself drawn back to the window. He was there, just as I knew he would be. Our eyes met across the divide, his filled with an unspoken question. And in that moment, I knew I had already made my choice. I was no longer afraid. I was his.